Hello my dear viewers, welcome to my channel. My name is Malena and in this video I am going to give you 10 tips on how to express yourself in public in a more confident and feminine way. How to speak and how to present yourself. It is not only in professional situations in which we have to, for example, present something in front of a group of people. There are also many private situations that require us to talk in front of a group. For example, on celebrations, when you hold a little speech, or maybe in church, or even when you are just presented to someone or to a group of people that you don't know. That's also kind of like a presentation situation. And it's totally natural that those situations can make you very nervous. But I will give you 10 remedies to really reduce this nervousness and to make you appear confident and classy and sophisticated, and you will also feel much better. So number one is breathing exercises. Breathing is really underrated. It is so important, not only for speaking and for your voice, but also in reducing stress. The doctor actually gave me an exercise that I should do every day at home in order to reduce my stress levels. And it is a breathing technique. And the same breathing technique you can do before a speech or before a presentation, or when you are just stressed out. And it's the so-called belly breathing. So what we normally do, especially when we are nervous, we tend to breathe with our chest. In the exercise, you will breathe in through the nose and breathe into your belly and make it really big. So your belly will grow until it's totally full with air. And then you will release the air through your mouth, but with a little bit of resistance. Like a balloon that you are holding, and then the air is coming out slowly. I will just show you once and then you can do it for yourself. So you breathe in. To breathe out. That's a really long breathe out because you do it with a little bit of resistance. But when you do that 10 times or for 10 minutes, this will be really, really relaxing and you will have such a clear mind after that. Try it, really, it's impressive. Such an easy exercise has such a big impact. Number 2, visualize the situation of your speech or your presentation. So what I mean is you are going to imagine and visualize yourself in this situation. So if it's a presentation, you visualize yourself standing there, presenting the thing that you want to present, saying the exact things that you want to say. Imagine how you will look, imagine how the people will look at you. If you do that a few times and then you will be in the actual situation, your brain will already be used to it because the brain will think, okay, I have already been in the situations, why should I be nervous? I'm already experienced in that. So this will help you with anxiety and you will be a little bit less nervous because you have already been in the situation. And a good side effect of that is that you will already have practiced. Number 3, positive affirmations. Very important. You should never tell yourself negative things that will increase your nervousness or make you feel insecure. So never say to yourself things like, I will be so nervous, I know I will forget everything, I will have a blackout. Never do that. On the contrary, tell yourself positive things. That will be okay, the audience will be relaxed, everything will go well, it will be so fun, it will be so easy. and you will calm yourself with those words. And not only that, but your subconscious mind will also believe you. There is a much higher chance that your speech, presentation, whatever, will go well, because you are already in a positive state. Number 4, vocal exercises and voice. The voice is something crucial, of course, in a speech. When you are speaking loudly, the voice is like the core element. You should maybe do some voice exercises when you have some difficulties with your voice. You can just practice talking with a pen in your mouth. So when you talk with a pen in your mouth like this, then when you take the pen out later on, the words will be much easier. Pronunciation will be much clearer and more elegant. So it is really helpful to practice with a little challenge, because afterwards it will be so much easier. Pay attention to the place where your voice comes out. When people are nervous, sometimes their voice comes from throat area, and then maybe you might speaking with a high-pitched voice and it's really very insecure. But when you speak from your diaphragm, which is more or less here in the middle, so when you take the voice from within, then your voice will be much more intense, calm and agreeable to listen to. So pay attention to the location where your voice comes from. And by the way, I have made a whole video on voice, how to have a more feminine and agreeable voice. I will link that in the end of this video so that you can watch it. What is also important with regard to the voice is, of course, tone. So avoid monotone speaking. Try to speak in an expressive way. Try to underline specific words with your expression. Don't speak too fast, but also don't speak too slow, like a medium velocity. I can tell you that listening to monotone speeches, and I do that quite often, you don't really listen, because after a few words you just switch off and then you're just listening out of politeness, but you're not actually listening. So if you want people to stay attentive and to listen to you, to actually listen, try to speak not monotone, but in an expressive way. Because I will give you an example. So at the moment I am speaking in a very monotone way, and this is, I think, not so agreeable to hear. And after a time you might also be very bored and not listen to me anymore. So you see the difference. So it's really not beneficial. Number 5, take notes if you're afraid to forget something. It is really no big deal to have notes with you. Like the most important, most known personalities who are holding speeches or presentations are doing that. When you, as the speaker at the speech or at the presentation, just have a little note with you, that's absolutely no big deal. You can do that, and it will make you feel so much more secure. And you will probably not even use those notes. But when you have them with you, this will give you a totally different level of security and confidence. And use them if necessary. People will not remember that you were using notes. They will remember your words, content, your charisma, and the whole package. Number 6, be open and prepared to improvise. In many situations, things don't go as planned, and there are interruptions, there are some kind of accidents, technical stuff is not working, microphone is not working, someone pops in the event, you have to stop and then continue again, someone interrupts you. So this happens all the time. But the crucial thing is to be mentally prepared and to not become nervous or freak out when something unexpected happens. Just stay calm and just continue in a normal way. And I can tell you a funny anecdote. Once at National Day celebrations, and I won't tell you which country that was because I don't want to embarrass anyone, although I don't think that it's so embarrassing, but well, most people would have perceived this situation that happened as embarrassing. So the ambassador was holding his speech and at the beginning of the event. And then in the middle of the speech, it was a very, of course, serious speech, very formal and with, of course, also serious topics. And suddenly his phone rang. And it was not only just a normal ringtone. I mean, the fact that his phone was not silent was already a little bit embarrassing, or it would have been embarrassing for most people. But not only that it started ringing, but the ringtone that everybody heard then, because his phone was literally next to the microphone, was Hero from Enrique Iglesias. So I can be your hero, baby. That was quite funny because of this very formal situation and this older, serious gentleman with such a ringtone. Of course, everybody was laughing and we were super relaxed because of that, because it was just like funny. And the ambassador was super relaxed, easygoing. He didn't care. He just went on with his speech as if nothing has happened. And I found it quite cool. And I didn't have any negative impression. On the contrary, I can just advise you to stay calm no matter what happens. Because even if something embarrassing happens, that can make your speech even more memorable. And so never freak out when unexpected things happen. Number 8, control your movements. Sometimes we do things that we don't realize. For example, when some people are speaking in public or holding presentations, they are constantly doing some kind of weird repetitive movement, like scratching their head all the time, or maybe they are touching their face. And in order to control that, you have to know that you are doing that. So I can advise you to either film yourself and practice your speech or presentation, or let your friends or family look at you while you are having the speech and practicing it. That will also, of course, perfect your speech and make you much more confident. Number 9, humor. Humor is always good. So a little joke here and there, if the occasion is adequate, never hurts. Even at very serious speeches, or rather said formal speeches. I remember one of the diplomatic events where the ambassador of this country had a very, very funny personality, and he was really easygoing, and his speech was much easier to listen to, and the audience were much more attentive because he was like joking in between, not all the time, but he was just telling a little anecdote, he was telling a little joke, and that really leaves a good and positive impression. So humor is almost always adequate. Of course, not when it's a very sad, very, very serious occasion, but talking about normal occasions, a little joke or making the audience laugh is almost always 100% beneficial for you. Lastly, number 10, wear the right and adequate clothes. Clothes that makes you feel good, that makes you feel attractive, that makes you feel confident, and that is adequate. I have made lots of videos about all of those topics and I will link them down below so that you can watch them. Because if you wear the right clothes and adequate for the occasion, the right colors, etc., that will make you feel so much more secure. And if you eliminate this one very big aspect of insecurity, then you will also have a much more confident and feminine appearance and charisma when you do a speech. And your speech will be, of course, also perceived as much more secure, confident. And I won't say more about that because I already have made a lot of content. I don't want to bore you, so just watch those other videos that I link down below. And if you liked this video, of course, give me a thumbs up. I appreciate that very much. And if you haven't subscribed yet, click the subscribe button. It's totally free. And it's very good for you because when you also press the notification bell, you will be notified every time that I upload a new video. So that's great, isn't it? And here I will link the video about the voice, how to have a more feminine and agreeable voice. Enjoy watching it and I will see you there. Bye bye.